Good afternoon. Stephen Elliott of Coherent Breathing. It's August 3rd, 2025. Today I'll be speaking to Coherent Breathing Principle number 9. If you've been following along with the series, this may be quite self-evident to you by now. This principle being that arterial and venous blood flow should be equal breath to breath. That is, the blood flow that leaves the lungs through the left heart and is distributed via the arterial tree is equal in volume to the blood flow that returns to the lungs via the right heart and venous tree during inhalation. In other words, as you've heard me say many times, breathing and blood flow have a circular relationship. That is, the blood in the body should flow in a circle, relatively unimpeded. This is a fundamental purpose of breathing, as you've heard me say many times, where I have often referenced the thoracic pump. This being the function of the chest and lung construct that help move blood in the body. The lungs are not an auxiliary organ that exists to the side of the heart or to the side of the arterial tree. All of the blood in the body, more or less, flows through the lungs all the time. So with this, the lungs being bounded at the bottom by the diaphragm, as the diaphragm moves downward and upward, it is drawing venous blood upward against gravity. You may recall that the last principle I spoke to was that we must work against gravity to move blood upward in the body. Otherwise, sort of the basic mechanisms are left to do that job. This includes walking, if we happen to be walking, or leg movements, if we happen to be making leg movements, exercise, if we happen to be exercising. If we are not, if we are sitting, as I am now at my desk, and are relatively sedentary, except for my fingers on the keyboard, let's say, I can gain the benefits of exercise while working. In other words, I can keep the blood in my body flowing freely in a circle all of the time, circumstances permitting, by modulating my breathing deliberately. And as you know, if you train coherent breathing for a period of time, even for a period of 3 weeks or so, it becomes ingrammed in the body and mind such that we don't forget. In other words, when we're not breathing in a relatively slow, deep, rhythmic, coherent manner, a small alarm bell goes off to say, hey, we need to get back with the program and begin breathing slowly, deeply, rhythmically, and relaxing during each exhalation. I happen to have a trigger that comes to my attention first. This showed up in my early 20s where I was grinding my teeth at night, not an uncommon problem. And prompted my first visit to a psychologist who used galvanic skin response biofeedback at my masseter muscle to train me, to train myself to keep my masseter muscle relaxed. I think this is a consequence of neck-related injury and trauma that I had experienced earlier in life, and then again later in life. It's sort of been ongoing battle with me to keep my neck relaxed and the nerves that emanate from the cervical spinal area from being hyper. So this is a way that it came to my attention. Now, we don't have to worry about how to do this. Coherent breathing will take care of it automatically. It facilitates this wave action in the circulation, as you have seen me say probably many times. And the body will naturally relax as this wave action occurs. This is a consequence, you have heard me say, of the wave making its way to the brain during each exhalation. Where during exhalation, the diaphragm moves upward, the chest contracts, the lungs contract of their own elasticity, and they eject the blood that has accumulated in them during the period of inhalation. This is the volume of blood that is ejected out to the left heart and then out through the arterial tree, including the ascending aorta, which goes to the brain, of course. So this is a goal of this circular form of breathing. And you can see, based on my discussions of sinusoidality and the interest we have in breathing in a sinusoidal manner coherently, that patterns that facilitate a square wave of breathing, for example, box breathing, they negate this constant sinusoidal pattern. And to the degree that we hold our breath during, after inhalation or after exhalation or anytime during, we are negating the effect that the thoracic pump is having in terms of drawing blood upward in the body against gravity. So we're really sort of throwing a wrench in the works, if you will, regarding how the body, I argue, how the body is naturally constructed to work. That is, with ease and optimal efficiency. This happens to be sinusoidal in nature, which is, again, the action of subatomic particles, of which we are all made of stardust, if you will. So I hope that reinforces what we have covered so far. Please don't hesitate to comment on my video. Thank you for your attention. Good day.